Hey art gang, so almost the end of September, can you believe it? I can't believe it. And I was looking back at my update from the beginning of this month to see kind of like where I'd got to, and looking at what I was planning to do and what I actually managed to do. And I managed to do a lot of the videos that I was planning to do, which is great, but I still haven't got those flowers up into my Etsy shop. So I've probably got about a couple of hours of work to do on the roses, and perhaps a little bit longer to do on those more stylistic blooms. And I just haven't had a chance to fit it in yet, so that's going to be a priority. It's going to be a big priority in next month, in October. But hopefully that won't take too much more to do, and I've got some downloads that I want to get done as well, so hopefully I'll be fitting those in too. And yeah, so watch this space. Now what I thought we could do today was I will go through some of the behind the scenes for how I do my flat lay photography and get those photos up. So things like, my social media stuff and the thumbnails for the videos and things like that. So let me share some of that with you. So as you know, I'm lucky enough to have a dedicated filming area in my studio. So I had this all set up, and it's where I do all my photos and all of my video filming. And it's right next to a big south-facing window. And to help me to control the light that's coming through that window, which is great light for using in photography, but it does need a little bit of controlling, particularly when it's a really sunny day. So I've got a screen material that I use. It's a type of diffuser fabric that you find in light boxes, and you can also buy it by the meter as well. So if you're interested, I'll link it up below so you can find it if you need it too. So this is the flat lay that I did for our recent DIY brushes video, and it's kind of typical to the type of flat lay that I do. And when I say flat lay, if you've not come across that expression before, this is basically the kind of photos where you're looking down onto the photograph. So the camera's above it and the objects are laid flat on a table or floor or whatever it is. And I'm not a flat lay expert, and I just try to arrange the items to be photoed in as pleasing a way as I possibly can, but I want to do it quickly, so I try not to overfuss it and just do it as quickly as possible, because you can really spend hours on this if you want to, but I just don't have the time, so I do the best that I can. For my social media shares, my thumbnails, anything like that, I use my DSLR for pretty much 90% of them. I do also use my phone from time to time, and you'll have seen some of those, but I can take just a much better photo with the DSLR, as I shoot all of my photographs in RAW format instead of JPEG, and it's just another format that you can shoot photos in, but it means that you get a lot more control when you come to process the photograph later. There's a lot more information stored in a RAW format compared to a JPEG, so you can just do so much more with it. And the things that I tweak are things like the light, the contrast and the colour. And I do this in my software, so you kind of want to start with the best photo that you can take, and then you can just do little tweaks when you come to use them in your software. So I upload mine to my computer, and I want to get the best representation of the project that I possibly can, and I will do, what I use for this is Photoshop Elements. But I also have the Affinity Photo software as well, but I'm just far more used to Photoshop Elements because I've literally been using it for decades. So even when I was a scientist, I would use the full Photoshop, so I'm just so much quicker on it. But I am trying to teach myself how to use the Affinity Photo software as well. And I use Photoshop Elements because basically I don't want to sign up to the Adobe Creative Cloud because, well, it's just too expensive, and it's just a shame. So I'm trying to swap all of my software onto Affinity, which is much more affordable. So if you're looking for that kind of software, have a look at them. Anyway, that's a bit of a digression. Now, I've got a handy tip for you. If you do a lot of this type of work and you're always making thumbnails or you're always making Instagram photos and you do this kind of editing, then make yourself a template file and have it at the size that you need for the place that you're going to upload your photo to, whether it's Instagram or YouTube, whatever it is. And then all you have to do is drop the photo into that template and fiddle about with it there to fit the template, and you've got it all ready and sized to go. And it's just a lot easier than doing it from scratch every single time. Now from my template I can fiddle about with it some more, as I said, and get the photo just right, add any titles that I need to add, and I'll put titles on my thumbnails, and I also put titles on my blog post for hopefully to get picked up in Pinterest and things like that, and that's where I share my blogs and posts and things like that. And then I will save the different photos at different sizes so that it's just ready for all these different places. And the next step after that is finding the time to post it to social media. So that's just a very quick overview of how I do my flat lay photography, particularly flat lay. You'll see some of my photographs, I'll take them from side views as well. And usually the processing for those is very similar, but I'll take those by hand, so I won't use a tripod in those cases. So I hope that was interesting and useful to you. Let me know, and if you have any questions, just ask. And I will see you for the next update. See you soon, guys. Have a perfectly brilliant creative day. Bye.